Beginning with the first session, the session today aims to deliberate on the key initiatives undertaken by the ASPIRE program under its three key themes: smart power, renewable energy, and cross-cutting initiatives with a focus on gender equality. I would like to invite our speakers as well as our distinguished guests for the inaugural session and the special address onto the stage. With a round of applause, let us welcome on the stage Ms. Reena Suri, Executive Director, India Smart Grid Forum; Mr. Vikas Gaba, Partner and National Head, Power and Utilities at KPMG in India and Program Lead at ASPIRE; Ms. Laura Aylett, Head of Climate and Energy at the British High Commission in India; Ms. Archana Chauhan, Head of Energy Sector Policy Reforms at British High Commission; Dr. Mohammad Rihan, Director General of the National Institute of Solar Energy; Ms. Laura Sandys, CEO of Challenging Ideas and a former Member of Parliament in the UK; Mr. Kamalpreet Wadhawan, Deputy General Manager and Technical Advisor to Executive Director, PFC Corporation Limited; and Mr. Bhagwan Sahai Bairwa, Chief Engineer, PSPA, Central Electricity Authority. I would request all the dignitaries to please take their seats on the dais as we begin with the inaugural session. So to kick off the session, I would like to invite Ms. Reena Suri, Executive Director of India Smart Grid Forum, to deliver the welcome address. Ma'am, over to you.
So it's a pleasure to extend a very, very warm welcome to all of you to the 11th edition of India Smart Utility Week 2025. And it's a pleasure for me to welcome all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais to the UK-India workshop, which on ASPIRE program in collaboration with the UK government. Today, as we gather as key stakeholders from both nations, united as by a shared vision of accelerating smart power and renewable energy in India, our collaboration under ASPIRE program reflects the strength of the India-UK energy partnership and our commitment towards sustainable and clean energy solutions. The ASPIRE program has been a remarkable example of international cooperation designed to advance smart power distribution, industrial energy efficiency, and renewable energy adoption. And as we enter the next phase, our discussions today focus on the progress that has been made so far, the challenges encountered, and the path forward. So with ASPIRE now launched the focus on grid modernization, renewable energy expansion, and industrial decarbonization that will continue to drive impactful change through the policy dialogues, technical assistance, and capacity building initiatives that ASPIRE has actively been contributing to and in India's energy transition. So please join me in welcoming our dignitaries who have joined us for today's inaugural session. Ms. Laura Aylett, thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Kamalpreet Wadhawan from PFC, thank you for being with us. Dr. Professor Mohammad Rihan, Director General for NICE, thank you, sir, for being with us. Ms. Laura Sandys, former parliamentarian from UK, thank you, Laura, for being with us. Mr. B.S. Bhairava from CA, thank you, sir, for joining us. And Ms. Archana Chauhan from British High Commission, thank you for being with us. And lastly, Mr. Vikas Gaba, who's a partner with KPMG, and he's also the program lead. So thank you for being with us. And this session we're looking forward to provide an excellent opportunity to reflect on the successes and lessons that have been learned over the past 3 years under the program. And we will also witness the launch of many key reports today and the initiatives that further strengthen our collaboration efforts. And I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our partners, UK government's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, and Power Finance Corporation and KPMG, MNRE, MOP for this program, this project, and collaborating together for the different innovative projects that have been undertaken under this. And as we move forward, let us continue to build on this partnership, leveraging technology innovations and knowledge exchange to transform India's energy landscape. And we look forward to a very engaging discussion and valuable insights from this session. So thank you so much, and I wish you a very productive and insightful session ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, we have Mr. Vikas Gaba, Partner and National Head, Power and Utilities, KPMG India, and the Program Lead for ASPIRE, to set the context for today's discussion. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Members on the dais, industry friends, a very good afternoon to all of you. And welcome to this UK-India workshop on ASPIRE program. Now, as you might be aware, ASPIRE stands for Accelerating Smart Power and Renewable Energy. And this is a program being implemented in partnership with the Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, along with Ministry of Power and Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. The ASPIRE program consists of two components. One is on smart power and other is on renewable energy. And there are 7 underlying themes to this, covering electricity distribution, mobility, industrial efficiency, solar energy, offshore wind, storage, and green hydrogen. Now, over the past 3 years, a lot of work has been done under the program. There have been about 45 different activities, about working with 2 ministries closely, with about 7 central agencies, and a lot of states, over 8 states and agencies working across these states. So there have been a lot of achievements. To name a few, I'll talk about some of those. The first one was supporting multiple states on RDSS program. This support was through MOP and PFC, and there was direct support to Andhra Pradesh in rolling out smart meters. Through PFC, there was support to Delhi, Punjab, Odisha, Kerala, as well as Tripura. One of the first of its kind AI and drone-based asset management solution was demonstrated in Maharashtra that saw some very good results, and the state was very keen to take it forward. A very uniquely curated course on distribution utility called the Distribution Utility Manager course, a first of its kind digital course for utility professionals to upscale themselves, was launched in partnership with PFC and is hosted on iGot Karma Yogi platform. All government officials can access this, can use it for their benefit. There was knowledge exchange platform called iDiksha, which is one-stop shop for all industrial decarbonization, industrial efficiency technologies across energy-intensive industries, that was launched in partnership with Bureau of Energy Efficiency. And there are a whole lot of UK, India case studies on the portal. There was a strategic roadmap that was established on intelligent mobility, and the focus was on Government of West Bengal here, where there was a skilling center being established and an employment-backed training for women drivers for EVs was also launched during the course. There have been multiple interventions with MNRE as well on opening up the offshore wind market. On green hydrogen, there has been policy interventions in 4 states. There is pilots and deployments that have happened on clean cooking in Kerala, and so on and so forth. So I think if we pick up the breadth, it will encompass almost all the areas that you will see in the energy transition space. Now, today's event deep dives into 2 important areas. One is future-ready power grids, where we'll be talking about some of the technology-based smart power initiatives that were brought through the program, but also talk in general about new technologies. Second is on empowering women. Now, one of the key limitations we have seen is that there is not enough data. There is no baseline, limited documentation when it comes to power sector. The participation of women itself is very low. It has started to change with renewable energy, several new programs coming in, but with collaboration with PFC, the program conducted first of its kind survey of distribution utilities. There is no other survey right now available that maps the distribution utilities and the gender representation across utilities. So thankful to PFC for making this happen. And during the course, we will also be launching about 4 different reports. One is on gender equity. There is a session, as I said, on that. There is recommendations on developing India's battery value chain. There will be a report that will be launched on that. Recently, we have done a piece with CEA. Mr. Bhairava is there, and this was on international experience on grid interconnectors, what UK has to offer, what are the learnings from UK. We will be launching that as well. And of course, the Digital Utility Manager course that is already launched, but we will again be re-announcing that because there is requirement that more and more utility professionals adopt it. So with this, I once again welcome you all for this workshop and hope you find the sessions useful today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for setting the context. That was really helpful. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Laura Aylett, First Secretary for Climate and Energy at the British High Commission, to deliver the inaugural address. Ma'am.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here with all the distinguished panelists on the dais and welcome all of you to today's session. 2024 was the hottest year on record worldwide, 1.55 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, according to the World Meteorological Organization. The Earth is warming up and at an accelerated pace, increasing the frequency of extreme weather events and climate-induced disasters, disproportionately affecting marginalized communities. The world needs to synergize for a collective, inclusive, and for accelerated climate action. The UK was the first major economy to commit in law to net zero by 2050. The Prime Minister recently announced the UK's next 2035 NDC target to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by at least 81% on 1990 levels. But we have made progress towards that. So the UK now gets most of its electricity from low carbon sources, about 46% renewables, 14% nuclear, and it's committed to make the UK a clean energy superpower by doubling onshore wind, tripling solar power, and quadrupling offshore wind by 2030. Our initiatives such as the Contracts for Difference scheme incentivizes investment in low-carbon electricity generation projects, thus supporting private finance to flow into green energy. We are also setting up the Great British Energy Company with a capitalization of £8.3 billion to drive clean energy deployment, create jobs, boost energy independence, and generate benefits for UK taxpayers, bill payers, and communities. To drive a global energy transition, the UK has set up the Global Clean Power Alliance, which is a political grouping of countries with high ambition for clean power to work together on the global stocktake commitments to triple renewable energy capacity and double energy efficiency by 2030. The UK recognises India as a partner in choice in clean energy, understanding that India's energy transition will determine global climate outcomes in the coming years. The Secretary of State for the Department of Energy Security and Net Zero was in India recently to refresh our partnership on energy under a refreshed comprehensive strategic partnership. Both the countries discussed the importance of ensuring energy security and sustainable development. He was particularly struck by the scale-up of change in India, single-handedly driving down the cost of LED light bulbs and the aim to install 10 million solar rooftops in 3 years. We're very interested to learn more from India on these policies. We've been collaborating with India through the UK-India 2030 roadmap on its clean energy ambitions. Through the ASPIRE program, as you've been hearing, we've supported India's first offshore wind tenders, smart meter rollouts in states, industrial energy efficiency initiatives, and electric mobility. Through ASPIRE, we have supported a pipeline of Government of India projects, which has the potential to mobilise an investment of over £2.2 billion and create greenhouse gas emissions benefits around 2 million tonnes of CO2. Through the long-standing engagement under the Power Sector Reform Programme, we are supporting India on power sector regulation and markets. Through this programme, we've established a first-of-its-kind Centre for Energy Regulation to strengthen capacity of regulatory institutions in the country. Today, the centre is deeply engaging with the Government of India in power regulations. So why are we here today to talk about smart grids? Having robust and smart grid infrastructure is crucial to facilitate the renewable energy integration, enhance efficiency and reliability in our power systems. It's a shared priority for the UK and India, and a key area of our collaborative efforts. We're happy to support India Smart Utility Week for a third year in the row as a country partner. In today's event, we'll delve into practical solutions for future future-ready power grid and the critical role of energy storage in building grid resilience. I'm particularly interested to hear from the leading women on the dais, quite a high laureate contingent today here as well, who bring such invaluable perspectives to this vital discussion. So thank you to all the panelists for joining us, and I look forward to the discussion today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was really nice. Thank you. So now, to provide us with an overview of the ASPIRE program, I would like to call upon Ms. Archana Chauhan, Head of Energy Sector Reforms, Climate and Energy Team at British High Commission. Ma'am, over to you.
A very warm good afternoon to everyone. I hope you all are not feeling sleepy after the lunch. So I head up the Energy Sector Reform Policy at British High Commission, New Delhi. Distinguished speakers on the dais and dear participants. I would like to thank ISUW. So it's for putting up a great conference, and it's, as Laura also mentioned, that it's our third year we've been associated with them and organizing our workshop here at the Lalit. Sorry. To give you a context about ASPIRE, so ASPIRE stands for Accelerating Smart Power and Renewable Energies in India. So during the third energy dialogue in October 2021, both India and the UK Energy Minister endorsed the Forward Action Plan on Clean Energy, and the objective was to improve energy efficiency and develop offshore wind ecosystem, green hydrogen, and increase switch to electric mobility and facilitate India's clean energy transition. So that was the objective of the program. So as a forward action plan of the energy dialogue, so ASPIRE was launched, and in partnership with Ministry of Power and Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So Vikas has kindly painted the picture. Those ASPIRE, we have collaborated with Ministry of Power and Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. It's been 3 years of the program, so we have been worked under 7 pillars: electricity distribution, energy efficiency and decarbonization, and electric mobility with Ministry of Power. And with Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, we've been working across green hydrogen, solar, offshore wind, and energy storage. So the program is coming to an end in this March 2025, and this would be our last workshop in the program. And I would not talk much about the program because I have a short video so that you all can see like whatever work we have done with both the ministries and multiple central and state government agencies as well. So we recently had our joint working groups with both Ministry of Power and Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So we discussed the successes which we have done in past 3 years and also painted our pictures for future collaboration. So UK and India has a long-standing collaboration for energy. So there has been discussion that we might come up with the phase 2 of the program as well with both the ministries, and we'll be doing a lot of work on scaling up of renewable energies in India, doing a collaboration of energy efficiency and decarbonization, and also supporting India on round-the-clock power supplies as well. So our program has been, the 7 pillars and the themes are there, but then we have been conscious to add an angle of Jesse and social and gender inclusion. So whatever work we have delivered under this program, so we have consciously take care of the gender and social inclusion. And today we'll be having a panel discussion also on the same. Without a further ado, thank you everyone for attending. I would like to play a short video which will actually summarize our journey of 3 years under the ASPIRE program. So yeah, I mean, we can run the short video.
Program, which supports low carbon energy transition, trade and investment, and gender and social inclusions. ASPIRE engaged with more than 100 stakeholders at various levels, including 2 ministries, 7 central agencies, 8 states, and 90+ international companies. The program is divided into 2 components, smart power and renewable energy. These are further divided across 7 sub-themes: electricity distribution, industrial energy efficiency, electric mobility, solar energy, offshore wind energy, energy storage, and green hydrogen. Electricity distribution. Support was provided in the demonstration of a drone and AI-based asset management solution for discoms. A first-of-its-kind course on digital upskilling of distribution companies was designed and institutionalized in the IGOT platform in collaboration with Power Finance Corporation. Support was provided to PFC for the implementation of the revamped distribution sector scheme. The key outcomes were onboarding of states, performance monitoring, and capacity building. ASPIRE collaborated with Andhra Pradesh Discoms for the rollout of advanced metering infrastructure. Industrial energy efficiency. The iDiksha platform was developed to serve as a one-stop shop for all energy efficiency needs for energy-intensive industries. As part of iDiksha, sectoral workshops and study trips were organized. A study tour to the UK was organized to increase collaboration between UK technology providers and Indian industries. A decarbonization strategy for the aluminium industry in India was developed, focusing on the adoption of low energy sources and technology solutions. Electric mobility. A conceptual master plan was prepared for developing the future mobility park in Tamil Nadu, and an MOU was signed with the government. An IMSC roadmap for West Bengal was developed to support EV transition through a state-of-the-art skilling center and future mobility lab. A first-of-its-kind capacity-building program for creating a cohort of skilled women electric cab drivers was developed. Support was provided to the Transport Department of Delhi in EV deployment. Solar energy. Support was provided in design of solar induction cooking solution programs showcasing energy-efficient solutions in rural areas. ASPIRE collaborated with Energy Management Center in deployment of a solar cooking pilot in Kerala. Offshore wind energy. Support was provided in the development of an offshore wind grid integration and model evacuation framework. ASPIRE collaborated with MNRE in the offshore wind market development off the coasts of Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. A study tour to the UK was organized to facilitate dialogues between offshore wind supply chain entities and Indian stakeholders. Further, a workshop was organized to enable knowledge sharing on the offshore wind evacuation infrastructure. A rapid environmental impact assessment study was conducted for Dhanushkodi and Gulf of Mannar in Tamil Nadu. Energy storage. ASPIRE contributed towards knowledge development of sodium-ion batteries in India. To accelerate energy storage penetration in India, policy support, market enablement, and capacity building initiatives were undertaken. ASPIRE provided support in driving circularity in the BESS sector by collaborating with recyclers to identify challenges and document key learnings. Green hydrogen. Support was provided in policy and implementation frameworks for Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Haryana, along with the development of investment plan in Andhra Pradesh. An assessment report on green hydrogen electrolyzer manufacturing in Tamil Nadu was developed. for state-level green hydrogen policy, highlighting the key policy enablers based on the state policy experience and global best practices. The UK and India are working in close collaboration to pave a pathway for a sustainable future in India by delivering round-the-clock power supply and accelerating industrial decarbonization.
So thank you, ma'am. That was a really nice highlight of how the ASPIRE program has been impactful throughout. Now I would like to invite our esteemed guests for their special address. Beginning with, let us welcome on the podium Dr. Mohammad Rihan, Director General of National Institute of Solar Energy. Sir, welcome.
The panel on the dais, all the distinguished guests of the dais. Accelerating smart power and renewable energy. Now, nothing can be more interesting for somebody who has an electrical engineering background and who happens to be heading an institute on solar energy. So, that is what attracted me to this program. I had some idea of how ASPIRE has contributed. I got to know much more by this short video, and I congratulate the whole team for their efforts and contributions in the transition of Indian power sector to a smarter power sector and to a power sector which is dominated by renewable energy. ISGF, I had a long association and I always admire the work they are doing, and this is one such addition to that. Now, coming to this, I'll mention 2-3 things related to the topic, the technical part. My colleague from the panel talked about the challenge of climate change, and there are signs and indications everywhere. I'll share a recent report I came across that in an eastern part of India, the doctors observed a disease, skin disease, in many people, which is normally seen in the desert areas. Then the data was analyzed. So, in that area, in 2024, there were around 39 days with temperature more than 40 degrees. In the same area, in 2021, there were only 6 such days. Recently, we have seen on 26 January when we celebrated our Republic Day, the temperature in Delhi was almost 24 degrees, which was absolutely unusual for any one of us. So, there are signs everywhere. It is not anymore a topic of debate. So, that is why we have to decarbonize our power sector, and I am happy that as a country we are contributing in that. And if I talk about solar adoption, so we have come from around 2 gigawatt in 2014 to more than 100 gigawatt in 2025, and I am sure by the end of 26 we will be around 200 gigawatt of solar. But that is a decarbonization part, but for making the power sector smart or making a smart grid, there are two more aspects. One is the decentralization and the other is the digitalization. So, solar energy, I believe, carries the best advantages when used in the distributed form. And through this PM Surya Ghar initiative, we have a target of 1 crore rooftops to be solarized in the immediate next 1 or 2 years, and then we will have further targets. So, what is happening? Our grid is changing, its basic nature is changing. I say that this is something which happens once in hundreds of years. Actually, the grid is going through a change which is unprecedented, and I don't think it will see such change for hundreds of years more. So we are used to of a system in which the electricity which was coming to us was in a manner of trickle down approach. There was some centralized plants and then it is coming to us in a trickle down. But the solar distributed nature of solar, it is making every rooftop as a power plant which is connected to the grid, which has the potential to transfer the problems also to the grid. So that we have to completely rethink, redesign how we have been managing, how we have been dealing with these challenges in the grid. So, and there is a question of stability. There is a question of stability during daytime when we have excess generation, how to manage that. There is a question of power quality also. So these all questions are actually opportunities, because this transition is there, it is going to happen, and we will see in the years to come role reversal of coal and solar, that the share of coal will be taken up by the share of solar, and the share of solar which we have seen earlier, that will be taken up by coal. But how to best manage that, that is the challenge. What will be the role of storage, how to optimize that, which chemistry is best for which application. So all these questions everybody is exploring. It's an actually, as we know, the climate change is a global problem. It is problem for everyone. The solution has to be sought by every one of us. So it's a global challenge, and everybody is working in these areas. The second thing which I wanted to highlight is, because of this radical change in the grid, we need to review the training and education also. It is actually changing the whole electrical engineering, the way we have understood, the way we have taught it. So we need to review whether these changes are being reflected in the curricula which are being followed in engineering institutions. Then skilling, re-skilling is also important, because you are going through a radical change. So this first session, Future Ready Power Grids, I am sure it will be talking of all these challenges. The second session is also very important, that is women in energy probably. So the conventional electrical power sector has been purely a men's world. Maybe one of the reasons was its basic nature of having some isolated plants at centralized locations and managing them. But through the adoption of solar, I say this is the democratization of electricity. You are the user, you are the producer also, you are the consumer also. So, and once we are resetting our whole power sector, it is a good opportunity to reset this imbalance also. So, I am sure that the women representation, it is already increasing, and I am sure it will increase further, and especially the leadership levels, not only on the lower level of organizations, but especially the leadership levels, because we need best of brains to address all these challenges which the new power sector is going to face. So with this, I thank the organizers for organizing such an important, thoughtful program on such an important topic and making me a part of it. I wish you all the success for this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Moving on to the next guest, let us welcome on stage Ms. Laura Sanders, CEO of Challenging Ideas and a former Member of Parliament in the UK. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much, and it's a long time that I've been a recovering politician, so and now I've really just turned into an energy geek. But it's absolutely tremendous to be here, and I really want to thank Reena and all the team here. We met a while ago through the IEA in Paris, and we've been in touch ever since. So beyond the geekery, who am I? I chair the government's Energy Digitalisation Task Force, so very, very excited about what Mohammed was talking about and other people's perspectives on the digital world. I chair something called Electrify Industry, And I understand that actually that would be a very, very important component of the transition and is absolutely crucial to address. I sit on a board of a UK transmission company, so I've seen all these fabulous technologies and new ways of doing things, and also involved in a company on EV charging. I have already learnt so much since being here 4 or 5 hours, so thank you for that. Now, as we heard in the inauguration speeches, we talk about tomorrow is very, very close. I would actually pose to us, all of us in the energy sector, that tomorrow is potentially yesterday. And I have a philosophy that I want to plan from the future, but I don't feel that the future is that far away. The UK might have some similarities, not actually the weather or the solar potential. We have similar challenges, but also similar opportunities. In the UK, we're moving from a lovely, neat, friendly little energy sector with 400 people, more or less, run the energy sector. And you know, they all know each other's golf handicap. Fantastic. We are moving to 100 million actions and assets on this system. The diversity, the dynamism, and in many ways the challenges of moving from a very small, friendly little club to all these random, crazy consumers that they're going to have to manage. By 2035, the number of EV cars on our energy system will be the equivalent of 3 nuclear power stations. Now, either those EV cars, we can embrace them and bring them into the system, or will they become a parasite on the system? Will we have to build those 3 nuclear power stations to deliver? We've got to look at assets differently. And then I'm absolutely fascinated, and thank goodness I don't think there is that many people in the exhibition hall who are looking at this, but this thing about relying on weather, right? It's fascinating. You know, weather does not follow legislation. It does not take price signals. It is totally random and crazy, right? Whereas actually demand, us, are really rather boring. So normally I ask an audience, how many of you change your alarm clock every morning? It's normally, anybody want to answer? It's normally 10%, because we are deeply dull, unlike the weather. And we are predictable, we are actually also biddable, and we are actually going to be absolutely crucial to the future stability and resilience of the system. The last piece, which actually really follows on from the ASPIRE program when they're looking at storage, is should we be learning from other sectors? So storage is interesting. If you look at the food sector, before we had refrigeration, we lost 60% of food, right? We have 2 wheat crops a year, and we eat bread every day. Fantastic. What is the equivalent in energy? Renewable energy made by the weather. So we've got long duration storage. That's the frozen food. We've got grid scale batteries. That's the refrigerated warehousing. You look at EV cars, they do flash freezing. The most important component in the whole of the food system is actually the fridge in your home. Because if you didn't have a fridge in your home, supermarkets would have to be 4 times the size they are today. So the analogy of how we optimize the system, how we lower whole system costs, how actually we give value to customers, is all centered around a system that actually exists in another sector. So if you think about that fridge in your home, whether it be the great innovation that we saw, I think, earlier this morning, whether it be EVs as your fridge, these are crucial assets to optimize the system and reduce costs. So what is the real challenge going forward? I think we've probably got about 80% of the technologies that we need. Certainly, I'm talking about the UK. You know, we're getting much better, but we're sometimes a bit rubbish about delivering them. We need deployment. We need to learn from you about your solar deployment, about your smart meter deployment as well. But very much what Mohammed was saying is we need to rethink how we look at this system. Some of you, and me included, very few of you probably, are old enough to remember something called an IBM mainframe, where everything was centralized and everything needed to go into this huge, in many ways, piece of equipment, but also it was absolutely top down. And if you wanted to access data, you had to do what it told you to. We now live in a world of mobile phones, of PCs, where actually it is the service that I am being delivered that the system has to respond to. And this is where, when we look at the future of energy, we need to understand that the customer is king, and that the customer will be part of the system, not just a passive victim at the end of the line. I am sure in India you're much, much better, and I say this with great love to my colleagues, my energy colleagues in the UK. We're pretty rubbish at understanding our customers. One chief executive went up to the regulator and said, I've got 1.2 million meter points. The regulator had to remind them that actually these were customers, human beings that needed a service. So we need quite a big culture change. And how are we going to get that culture change? I think through 4 key things. Demand will equal supply in this system if we are to optimize it. So flexibility rates, and this is all about the UK, and I'm sure it's done much, much better in India, but flexibility rates are not high enough. They're not giving the full value to customers that they are delivering in terms of virtual power plants, also particularly the commercial and industrial sector. Assets. We don't have enough assets in people's homes, in their businesses. We need more solar like you have. We need more batteries at the edge of the system to be able to deliver us this flexibility. Digitalization, my hobby horse, don't get me on this, but we have got a big, in many ways, skills gap. One chief executive said to me, we've got great people on digitalization. This guy really knew how to roll out Microsoft Word. I had to remind them that actually that was probably not the digital skills that I was talking about. And very lastly, fairness. And I just wanted to leave you with something optimistic. So fairness in this system is going to be incredibly important because customers are voters, and voters can veto net zero. So we have to understand their needs. And there are 2 great examples that I know very well. One of them is an EV charging company who has a very long-standing relationship with an organization called Motability. And Motability provides cars to people with disability. It is actually the largest fleet in Europe. It is enormous. These guys are going to be the first people to trial V2G in the UK. Not the rich and famous, not the people with the Teslas and the 3 swimming pools and all the rest of it. This is the cohort that we have focused on to deliver a totally new set of values. And then the last one is a company called Zero Homes, who are turning social housing into power stations. They're retrofitting very, very old social housing, putting PV, a heat pump, a battery. Everyone's bills has gone down by 30%, and the local authority is selling the excess energy and reducing their costs too. We can do this if we learn from other sectors, if we put customers absolutely front and center, and that we know that fairness has to sit at the heart of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Let us now welcome Mr. Kamalpreet Vadhavan, Deputy General Manager and Technical Advisor to Executive Director, Power Finance Corporation, for his special address. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me. In fact, this session was supposed to be taken by Mr. Saurav Shah, but because of some exigency, he's not here, so you won't have to bear with me for long. Just to give an overall perspective, India as a country, we are presently meeting a demand of around, say, 250 gigawatt, and which is expected to increase to 400 gigawatt as per the assessments of the Central Electricity Authority. Likewise, our per capita consumption of electricity has also increased to 1400 units, which is a big thing for a country like ours, although it's far from the world's average. When we talk about this thing, when we put this thing into perspective, the thing here is that the DISCOMs in this country, most of them are in the government sector. So they have to deal with the dual challenge of meeting the requisite requirement of supplying the power, and also looking at all the challenges and the changes that are taking place presently in the sector. So there's a term called VUCA, right? Most of us would be aware of it: vulnerability, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. That's what we are seeing in the sector with, we have things like RE integration with solar coming up, then we have EV charging, then we have, other aspects like new technologies like green hydrogen coming in. Besides, we are also looking at BESS. So amongst all these things, the DISCOMs, we feel, they are somewhere, or in fact, all the stakeholders, including we at Power Finance Corporation, we also feel that, this entire thing has leading to a difficulty in prioritization of the newer technologies, prioritizations of the requirements of the sector. And I think that's where the ASPIRE program has come in and helped us a lot. Any program for that matter, from our past experience, we feel that it needs to focus on the three aspects. PPT, which generally we use it for the PowerPoint presentation, but I feel the other details for the same is people, processes, and technology. So under the ASPIRE program, what we have felt is they've touched upon all three aspects, and which has been helpful to the DISCOMs. It has been helpful to other stakeholders like PFC, and in totality at the macro level to the ministries. Besides this, going forward, their support has also been aligned with more or less the priorities of the government. And going forward, we are very keen that we see next phase of the program coming up, and we'll be happy to partner with the ASPIRE team and the FCDO team for the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Let us now welcome Mr. Bhagwan Sahai Bairwa, sir, Chief Engineer, Central Electricity Authority, for his special address.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen on the dais, So, the Indian grid is very big. We have met demand of 250 gigawatt in this year itself, and we have installed capacity of more than 466 gigawatt. Out of which around 45% is from non-fossil fuel sources. We are planning to integrate around 600 gigawatts RE by 2032, and for that transmission plan has already been launched. We are also planning system up to 2047, that is the 100th anniversary of our independence. And by that time, we hope that our installed capacity will be around 2000 gigawatts, and out of that around 1700 gigawatts will be from non-fossil sources. So that is about some statistics. As Mr. Vikas has told that for energy transition, offshore integration is very much required, and we have used offshore potential also. I think that with that we also need more and more interconnections with other countries. That makes our grid larger and larger, and thereby increasing flexibility and also reliability, and our partners will be achieving our targets or NDC targets, or means all will be moving towards cleaner energy. Now, and for that, we have also last year we have signed an agreement with Nepal for importing 10 gigawatt of hydropower. So that I was talking about more and more interconnections. With our northern countries, northern neighbors, we have already some interconnections, and we are also planning. But towards our western and eastern side and southern side, either we have planned or we are under planning. But you will appreciate that till now, in Indian system, we do not have any expertise of undersea cables. So under this ASPIRE program, one study was conducted on international cross-border interconnections, especially in UK, because UK has a vast experience of undersea interconnectors. So for that report, we had discussions at various levels, including survey agencies, cable manufacturers, National Grid, TSO, ISO. So with that discussion, the report has been prepared. I think this report will help India for this getting these interconnections implemented. Although we have planned some interconnectors, but still we may not be knowing that what challenges we will be facing. But these discussions, these studies will surely help us. And we hope that in coming time, we will be going for interconnections in a big way, and in subsea cables. In a couple of days or couple of weeks, you will also be seeing that global tender inquiry will be coming for feasibility report, feasibility studies between India and Saudi Arabia at undersea cable. And we are also planning, or we can say we have planned one interconnections from our mainland to Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So this study will surely help us going forward. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you all the speakers for sharing your valuable insights and for setting the context for the upcoming sessions. We now move to the launch of the reports prepared under the ASPIRE program. I would also like to invite on stage Ms. Sayukta Das Gupta, Senior Advisor in the Smart Power, Climate and Energy team at the British High Commission. Sayukta, please join us on stage. Mr. Saurabh Gupta, Partner, Power and Utilities at KPMG in India and the Smart Power Lead at ASPIRE. And Mr. Nishant Singh, Senior Advisor in Energy Security at the British High Commission. Please join us on stage for the launch of reports. Our first launch of this evening is the report on gender equity in Indian power distribution sector. This report focuses on gender representation across DISCOMs, providing valuable insights to guide targeted interventions and foster meaningful progress towards gender equity in the distribution sector. We will delve deeper into the key takeaways from this in the second panel discussion today. Over to the dignitaries for launching the report. Let us please have a round of applause. Let us have a round of applause. Thank you. Next, we have the launch of the report on recommendations for developing India's battery value chain for emerging technologies. This report provides a customized recommendations for developing India's battery value chain across the emerging battery technologies. It focuses on India's readiness in terms of raw material sourcing, cell manufacturing, battery pack assembly, and end-of-life management. Additionally, it examines India's policy and regulatory landscape, market dynamics, key market players, existing infrastructure, and workforce capabilities. Over to the dignitaries for launching the report. Let us please have a round of applause. Thank you. Next, we have the launch of report on international experience on grid interconnectors, case study of the UK. The report aims to assess and share international experience from the UK through an analysis of the overall development aspects of grid interconnectors. By sharing the best practices and knowledge from the UK's successful deployment of interconnectors, the case study aims to provide evidence-based learning for future interconnector projects in India. Over to the dignitaries for launching the report. Let us please have a round of applause. Thank you. I request the guests to please be seated for the next launch. We are excited to announce the launch of Digital Utility Manager course at the prestigious iGOT Karmayogi platform. We have a small presentation coming up for launching this course on the iGOT Karmayogi platform. The Digital Utility Manager course has been developed under the ASPIRE program, supported by leading institutions such as Imperial College London, VJTI Mumbai, and IIT Tirupati. Facilitated by Power Finance Corporation, the course has been introduced on iGOT Karmayogi platform, an online platform designed to enhance the skills and knowledge of government employees in India. Let us now put our hands together for the launch. Let us now have an overview of navigation through the course on the portal. So you need to log into the iGOT Karmayogi portal using your credentials or register on the portal using following steps. Visit the iGOT Karmayogi portal, go to the igotkarmayogi.gov.in website, find and click the register button on the home page. Further, enter your official name, group, email address, mobile number, and the name of the organization. You will receive an OTP on your mobile number and email address. When you enter the OTP to verify, you can click on the sign up option to complete the registration process. Once your profile is created, you will receive an email to set your password. Follow the instructions in the email to set your password. Then you can log into the portal using your credentials. Once logged in, you can find the courses section on the homepage or in the main menu. Use the search bar to type Distribution Utility Manager and press enter. From the search results, click on the Distribution Utility Manager course. Click on the Enroll button to register for the course. Once you have enrolled, you will see the screen as shown. Once you are enrolled, you can start the course by clicking on the Start Course button. On the course page, you will find the detailed information about the course, including the summary of the course. A list of the modules is also included in the course. An outline of the topics covered in each module is the estimated time to complete each of the module. So the Distribution Utility Manager course on the iGot Karmayogi platform offers several features designed to enhance your learning experience, such as comprehensive learning modules, interactive content, expert-led sessions, self-paced learning, certification, discussion forums, and resource library. These features are designed to provide a comprehensive learning experience, helping you develop the skills and knowledge needed for effective distribution utility management. Here is how the certificate will look after the final course is completed. Thank you, everyone. Now I would like to call upon Ms. Archana Chauhan to deliver the vote of thanks.
I would like to extend a heartfelt thanks as we conclude this inspiring inaugural session. I express my sincere gratitude to all the keynote speakers for their valuable insights and reinforcing the future of power sector with full optimism. And I would also like to thank all the participants and the attendees for your engagement. Your participants add immense value to the session. I look forward for everyone for the next 2 sessions. Thank you everyone for attending. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now like to request Ms. Reena Suri to come forward for presenting mementos to our speakers. Mr. Kamalpreet Radhawan. Dr. Mohammad Rihan. Ms. Laura Sanders. Mr. V.S. Berwa. Mr. Vikas Gaba. Ms. Laura Aylett. And Ms. Archana Chauhan.